Let me hear you say ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da. Crazy how this thing called love, just what I've been dreaming of. And I can never figure out, oh, how you do the things you do. Is why I'm so in love with you. I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. If I met you in another life and you asked me to be your wife, with grace and a smile I say, yeah, always now and forever. You be my one and only lover. Cause I like the way you make me smile. Boy, you give me butterflies. And when I look into your eyes, I'll see the future, me and you. That's why I wrote this song for you. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. I-L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Just want you to know what I think of you. L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Baby, you've got what it takes to make your girl say L-O-V-E-Y-O-U. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba 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 da ba ba da.
Good morning, and welcome to Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson talk show. This is a new week, and today is Monday, April the 17th, 2023. What has this day got in store for us? We know right now it is in the lower to mid 50 degrees in Providence, Rhode Island. So waking up to some summer weather, spring, summer, whatever you want to say. Once there's no rain this morning, let's pray for the sun, okay? For more of that weather report, check your news, check your bulletin report, okay? Now, over the weekend, students at Brown University hosted their annual summer Thaw Powwow. Now, these are Native American students at Brown University. This has been going on for 20 years. This was the 20th powwow, summer Thaw powwow. And we just want to give you a little snippet of what it was all about. So bear with us as we bring you Brown Native American students' summer Thaw, Powwow 2023. Let's check it out. Oh, I've had it on so long. Just hold on, let me bring it back on. I had this on so long. It's been up for a while, and it seems to be. Let me bring it back up. Just bear with me. 1 or 2 minutes, and it'll be right back up.
Hello! I saw you over here earlier. I was like, oh my god. Say
How you doing, Tim? Good to see you.
Good day, my name is Adequin. I'm from the Mashpee, Wampanoag, and Narragansett tribes. Here we are at Brown University Powwow. This powwow is put on by the Native American Students Association. And the powwow is basically to represent different styles in North America. Here at the powwow, this is the traditional style that you would see here on the East Coast. But other styles exhibited, like fancy shawl, jingle. There's so many different tribes and so many different styles that are represented here today that you can see, and each of those dances will be exhibited today. We have an honor of ceremony, which is our MC, and he'll be announcing each dance in the style and what it's exhibiting and what it's meant for. We also have an arena director, which gathers all the dancers and makes sure everything works in a timely fashion. This is like an exhibition type of an event where people exhibit the styles to teach more so, it wouldn't necessarily be considered a ceremony. Our ceremonies are more private and communal, but there's a lot to be learned here. And I hope you all have a great day.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you enjoyed that. So this event took place on Saturday, April the 15th. It was at the Piscatory Complex. That's the gym at Brown University. So it was a wonderful program. I stayed there for a while and enjoyed it. So next time, it's a yearly event, and this was the 20th. So next year, stay tuned, pay attention, and check it out. I mean, they have had some greater ones there, but this one was just, it was kind of good. Okay. But I've seen some bigger ones at Brown University with more tribes. People come from all over to display their suits, their outfits, their drums, their dances, and all of that. Just like us African people. And the noises too, just like us, right? My wife was sitting there. I said, "Hey, our people," and she started laughing. She said, "Yeah, we are noisy." And during the show, you know, one of the funny things during the show, the announcer came on. He said, "Yo, please don't try to beat the people down with the prices. You know, the people work hard, so don't go there and try to ask them for the best deals and all that." So I told my wife, I said, "Hey, typical Liberians, eh?" She started laughing. So we're the same, my man. Everywhere you go, us tribal people, we got one of the tribal things going on. So take heed and govern yourselves. I hope you all saw the video I put up with remembering Donna Mitchell. Menowe was an outstanding community leader. She represented her tribe, the Narragansett people, very well. And as you can see from that video, she was a patriot. She loved her people. She loved her Indian culture. And when we went on the trip with her, she took us there all the way in the butchers to see where the Narragansetts live, where they had their secret places and all of that. So check out all these things around you, man. This is America. You're in America. Don't be afraid to visit these things. The people will not hurt you. They will not hunt you down. No juju there, no juju. If the Indians got a juju, the people got a juju. Because all through the program, we were telling the people to take off their hat, and they were saying, "Oh, if you got your juju in your hat, your powerful thing in your hat, don't take it off. We're sorry, just sit down. But those who ain't got your power in your hat, take it off." So they believe in juju. They believe in spirits, all just like us. Okay? Let me bring my correspondent in from Liberia before he disappears. Mr. Samuel, welcome. How are you, brother?
Yeah. Good morning. I was enjoying your Native American.
Yeah, man. I'm glad you caught it.
Yeah, the Native American event.
Yeah, they call it Powwow.
Festivities. Powwow, yeah. All the guys. It's
So
all
what's
about what?
happening, brother?
Well, Liberia, this morning, normally can't get with a basa over the weekend. She said the Supreme Court has made its decision, but on Tuesday tomorrow, she will come out with opposition statement from the faction of the Liberal Party. So she was in Basa and the case had not ended.
I saw that video.
Yeah. Okay, the case ended. So by Tuesday she come on.
After she spoke, Darius
spoke.
and people are miscrewing his statement and trying to make a big issue of it. So I got his statement here from that program because I heard it on some other channels. People play Garrett Dillon program, Dillon statement, and they were saying, "Oh, you see, he's trying to stir up something. This guy, oh, it's a troublemaker." So I recorded it, and I want to play it so we can hear it and address this issue too. Okay, so hold on a minute, let's play it.
Okay. All right.
I hope it hasn't frozen either. Oh Lord, this is frozen too. I had these things first. Hold on a second, let me go and get it again. If oh yeah. Well, let me see if it come on. No, it's frozen. I'll get it, but in the meantime, I know what you're saying. I will talk about that later. I will go into the issue of the legality of all of that later. But let me just bring this video on so we can address. I think I had it right here. Yes, yeah, right here. You gotta be quiet. Okay, I just want to stop there. What you were saying is, after Yomli spoke, he came out and said, you're here, our leader. Everybody said yes. He said, that thing the Supreme Court did, don't mind, yeah. That he was saying. He said, that thing the Supreme Court did, you don't mind, yeah. And some people took that caption and played it on their show and trying to say that Darrell Dillon trying to stir up problem in his country. But after I saw their video, then fortunately for me, as soon as I came back on, I saw the whole video of Yomli Kanga talking, addressing the crowd in Basso. Then after she left, Darrell Dillon came on to address the crowd. That's why I recorded it, because I want to correct that. You know, what Darrell Dillon was saying was nothing bad. He was not indicating nothing terrible. All he was saying is, what the Supreme Court did, you don't mind it. Why? Because the case isn't finished yet.
Yeah.
The case is not over yet. All the Supreme Court did was look at the writ on review, because they were dealing with issues, and they didn't like that issue. So they plead to the Supreme Court to review that one error or whatever that issue, and the court reviewed it. The court didn't have to review it. Anything that goes up to the court on statutory is a writ to review. The court has discretionary power. They say yes, we'll review it, or no, we'll not review it. But the court accepted it because the judge Seamus Youssef accepted it, and he dealt with it, and he sent it back. But all the issues were not dealt with. So when Billy filed his thing to the Supreme Court, they said, okay, well, let's look at it. Let's look at Youssef. Let's look at the NEC. That's why the Supreme Court took the case to look at it. Now, after they look at it, they finish adjudicating everything. They finish sending it back to the NEC now Now the NEC got to sit down and finish the case because the NEC told the hearing officer, the NEC send the board, send the case back to the hearing officer to finalize the case. And when it got back there, that when normally they file the writ and all of that. So the case has not finished yet. So the hearing officer got to finalize the case now because the board sent it back to him. So when he finalizes that case, normally Kanga, Liberty Party, all of them still have the right to appeal. They still have the right to appeal. So I will address that later on. But anything else?
So far, that's the news for now. Nothing much because with the weekend holiday and all coincided with this. Yeah, so nothing much today besides this case. I said you want to maybe they would discuss one or two.
News about the high rate of induced abortion in Liberia, man. This is terrible. You know what induced abortion is, right?
Yeah, but I mean,
when they force abortion,
forced abortion. So that means you're not prepared for the pregnancy. You're not prepared for the pregnancy. Yeah, you're not prepared for the pregnancy because of rape and the teenage pregnancies.
Go ahead.
The teenage pregnancy is actually on the increase in Monrovia, in Liberia per se. And most of the young boys who give the girls the pregnancy, they abandon them. They disown the pregnancy. And so I mean they're forced to get it out. And the rape cases too has increased all over the country. They're raping minors.
Incest,
and all that.
Yeah, all of that involved because people don't want women having children by relatives because that creates problems down the road too,
And some family compromise the cases, compromise rape cases, some family members. And so at the end,
you remember that case with the legislator in East? We never heard nothing about that case.
Yeah. Nothing, but it just died because they compromise a little money. They give a little envelope, cash.
But can you imagine?
And they just let it go.
38,000 women having abortion because of rape, because of incest, because of sickness, because if the woman's sick too, some women can be sick and they need to have the abortion because their body cannot have it. Because of some medical issue.
Weak. Some of they call it.
But most
of it weak back.
They from rape, incest, and just uselessness in our society, man. This is terrible. 38,000. I'm not a small number, man. It's not
a small number.
This is our law. This is indication.
It's all over the country.
Lawless nation.
Wickedness has increased in Liberia. That's the thing. Wickedness all over the country.
38,000 plus abortion. This is not sound. This is insanity. This is insanity. So when we break it down now, how many of these people had abortion because of incest? How many people had abortion because of rape? How many people, because incest might be rape too. So we don't know those. So how many people who had having abortion because of real medical situations? This is not normal. This is a sin.
Stepfather going with stepdaughter, all this stuff.
In 1 year, 38,000 people. No, this is not right, man. It just go to show the further debasement of our society.
It could be more because some are compromised. You will never hear it. That could be more.
When you're not going to the hospital, these are the ones that went to the hospital or got treated and they documented it. But what about the ones that don't get documented? And just the one that got documented, 38,000.
38,000. So can you imagine that? And that's a fact.
It's satanic, man. This is
Liberia is going bad.
It's not normal, man.
Liberia is going bad, I tell you.
This is a whole nation, man. 38,000 people. This is more than a county. Because our law say every 20,000, you form a new district or county.
A political district.
Yes. And yeah, we got
So it's just a whole political district.
38,000 Liberians deported babies because of criminal activities. Man, this is not right in our country. My Liberian people, this is not right, man. It's not right.
Liberia is going bad, though. Liberia has gone bad.
We have 38,000 in 1 year. What about 2022 and 2023? That report hasn't come out yet. And then we still fighting a war, man.
Yeah.
We're fighting a war with civilization. This is not right.
Liberia is like we still at war.
Yes.
Every day that comes is a PL like holiday. This morning somebody was joking saying, but I thought today was a holiday. I said no. He said, but the time is quiet, all war.
Yeah, because people
just gone quiet and nothing.
People got no money. People got no
job. No money and the wickedness, just increasing by the day.
How many times people will gather and fight for a job and protest and protest and protest and protest and nothing happening?
Nothing happening. You hardly see people going look for a job. Is it only company? Like those days, people, flood into a company site for a job. Nobody's going anywhere. No job, no vacancy, nothing.
No money in the country.
And Zioga Wasting is telling all the zonal, the zonal heads from CDC along the beach, the Atlantic Ocean, and they should give 100 names each from each block, so they can be included in the wave days beach wave cleaning program. Why only sedition? Can you imagine? Only sedition must give names.
What is that? What is the beach wave cleaning program? What is it?
They clean the beach or the beaches in Morovia. The sanitation the beach sanitation program. It will clean all the beaches. So only sedition must be handpicked.
Well, you see, they
don't
want to force other people, different parties. So he's a CDC.
No.
And that CDC goes. So
it's a minister. You can.
Yeah, but
the minister you can suppose Zoga Wilson. He was saying it.
Yeah, but he's saying CDC people will go around and make a list and get names. The other parties could tell him go to hell. We ain't doing that. So he want only the CDC people that are committed to the government to do it. He can't force other people to do it.
No, but under this you get a job. Under this you get a job. I think they got 2.5 million. They got 2.5 million in the budget for that purpose.
Oh, it's a paying job?
Yeah. They have been paid.
Wow.
Yeah.
It
started. Only citizens must give name. The program started early time to clean the beaches.
That's correct.
Yeah. So because they got good money in the budget, so only citizens must give names.
I thought you were just asking people to volunteer.
No, they have been paid.
Well, that's not right.
They've gone more than 5 years with the program since early administration.
And they still doing their night. They want only CDC people to give names.
Yeah, only citizens. Only citizens must give names. I heard this morning.
These guys don't want peace in our country, man.
They want peace, though. But I experienced this during the Seminole administration. 1984, I did data entry operator course. They keep punching stuff. And we don't have much computer in Liberia. So it's a German firm. When I graduated, I had a certificate. I applied to tell they're gonna work. You know what they told me? They said because I never had NDP ID card, so they cannot give me that job. So you can imagine. So native giant, country woman born soldier. When they are in power, It's a problem. That's a problem. Division. Yes, yes. They bring a division. How will you tell me I'm a Liberian citizen? I'm qualified to work. You say no. I shouldn't work because I'm not part of your party. Eh? So it's still going on. So I heard from Yoga Wisdom when I stream, our friend from NTA told me, if you're not crying, you're not crew, you cannot be employed at NTA because I want a job there. The guy told me, please, but if you're not crying, you're not crew, you cannot work at NTA. I said, wow. Yes. Yes.
Yoga wasn't doing that.
Yoga Wisdom said it, and our friend from NTA too told me the same old thing.
You know, I just, our people been through too much, man. I will talk about that when you leave, but I mean,
Yeah.
not right. But anyway, you got anything else to say?
Well, nothing much to say, but just to let you know that it really right around the corner. Last night was a heavy storm, so that's why you see the network being problem this morning. And so we had a breakage. I had to leave the community to go further distance so that I can talk to you. So hope that this rainy season, I mean, I won't experience problem in communicating with you. Yeah, but I found out with it but there's no fire.
You did
See
the
that?
power of God, man. Power of God. Fall on your knees and pray. God control the
Yeah,
weather. Come pray, man. Pray.
I
You got
understand
power.
that. So I will yeah. So by 7 o'clock, if you don't hear me, I will have to leave a community to go to distance.
Okay, what you gotta do?
Yeah, I'm at the outskirts of should I say of Virginia. Yeah, so I'm in a remote
Consider
of
yourself as a United States mailman. You see, whether it rains or whether it's snowing or whether the weather terrible, the mail gotta go. So
you gotta go. That's true.
so you with the X team, whether it rain or whether the communication bad or whether the weather falling down, the X team gotta what?
You gotta go.
You gotta go, brother. You know it.
Yeah.
You know it, sir. Okay,
Yeah.
Baba, give me a closing
Thank
remark.
you so much.
Yeah, give you a closing remark.
Yeah.
My lesson for the day.
Yeah. Election is right around the corner. Actually, I will need my jacket to be identified. I will need 1 or 2 equipment.
But you see the part about it will take about 4
Yeah.
weeks. You're not getting
It doesn't. 4 weeks. Election is October.
It can be more. I'll see. This is what April.
Yeah, election is October. We still get about 6-7 months.
I will see tomorrow.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll call the
All right.
president.
Thank you.
I'll call the president see when it's shipping. When
Okay. All right.
to Liberia. Okay.
I went to Telecom yesterday. There was.
Yeah, press
I went.
jacket with legs on it.
Yeah, I need it. I went to Telecom yesterday. There's no 4G. I mean, no 5G in town yet.
No, I told you.
Yeah, the 4G itself got problems in it, but the cable.
First of all, you gotta be able to connect with the 4G before you move on. You ain't connecting with the 4G, yeah, you go 5G.
The telco said the 4G, the network, the cable was here. That fiber cable they brought a few years back.
But you using it now. When it's raining, we disconnected.
Yeah, you see. So I mean,
we disconnected. You know, so you gotta wait. Your 5G thing, you ain't ready for that thing yet, okay?
The 4G said not effective. The 4G said not effective.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Do your closing, let me go.
I'm not getting it. You're breaking.
No, I said do your closing, let me go.
Oh, okay, all right. I'll be on my way to Painesville. Hopefully I will be around the Cool FM. If maybe I might do a video, for tomorrow. I'm going to attend a program there. I will see what happens, what comes of that program. If it starts, because I'm hearing that they will postpone it again. But in case of anything, I will let you know later on. So we hope that Liberia is peaceful, and let's wait and see what Nyomi says tomorrow on her reaction when it comes to the Supreme Court decision. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Take care, brother. Have a good week. I see you tomorrow.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, that was my correspondent in Liberia, Mr. Samuel Wicker. Let's talk about this Nyomli Kanga business here, man. You know, the court sent the case back. When a case is brought up to the court on a writ of certiorari or any preliminary writ, the court reviews it. If it's a writ of error, wherever it is, the judge made an error with the issue in the case, you halt the case. The case is going on. We're talking about something, the judge makes an error. You say, hey, let's halt the case right here. I want to file a petition to the upper court to review what you just said. I don't like what you just said. And that what happened during this case. Okay, the hearing officer was hearing it. They didn't like what the hearing officer was saying. They filed an appeal to the board from there. The board heard the issue. It wasn't the whole case. It was just an issue. They didn't like what the hearing officer was saying on that issue. So they halted everything. Okay? And they said, let's go to the board. So they went to the board. The board looked at everything. They were talking about filing of the document. The Musa ability have the right. He and the secretary, did they have the right to file the framework document with the NEC on behalf of Liberty Party? That was one of the issues. The other issue had to do with the Constitution. Okay, whether they did this and that with the Constitution, blah, blah, blah. So on the issue about filing the document, the court said Musa ability had the authority to do that. On the issue of the constitutionality, the court struck it down. Said the NEC did not have the authority to deal with constitutional issue. It was just the NEC is just a repository of records, of political documents. It's a house. It's a storage house. It has nothing to do with the law. So for the hearing officer and anybody at the NEC to bring up the topic of looking into the constitutionality of Liberty Party's framework document was usurpation of powers that the NEC didn't have. So that was the issue. Now they heard the case. The court sent it back on the principle of res judicata. That means those issues that were raised, the court will not raise it no more. The court will not raise it no more. So they sent the case back. That case is not over. Normally, then still got to go to hearing. That case was only on that issue of whether Musa ability, whether Musa ability had the authority to file the framework document for the Liberty Party. That was one. The constitutionality of the document itself was stricken down. So the court didn't deal with it. They didn't deal with it. Send it back. They say, do the case on the merits. You can't touch constitutional issues. They're not your business. So the court may still have to look at the constitutionality on appeal. Let's see what the appeal will be like. So the hearing officer got to go through the whole case again. They send the case back. Just where it stopped, he will pick up from there. They will go through the whole case. He will render his decision. when he rendered his decision, they got to appeal. They cannot appeal directly to the Supreme Court. They got to appeal to the board again. Because the first appeal were on the issue of Musa, was on a review issue. When they appeal on that issue of whether Musa Belete had the authority to file the document, they appeal on that issue. The board sent it back to the hearing officer to finalize it. They appeal from that to the justice in Chima. He sent it back to them. They appeal from Musa Belete appeal to the Supreme Court. Now the Supreme Court finished sending it back. You know, this situation with Darius Dillon. Darius Dillon didn't commit no crime. He didn't say anything, in my view, that was divisive. Normally Kanga spoke and said that they still had legal actions. Liberty Party session, horse session of the Liberty Party still had legal actions to pursue. So what does that mean? That means when the hearing officer makes his final decision, they got to appeal it. They got to appeal the ruling. So you know, from what he's saying right now, there are issues with the Constitution. The court said the hearing officer can't deal with it. So who's got to deal with it? The court. Okay? So Musa Belete said the case is finished. No, the case not finished. It just rested on those two issues. The court dealt with those issues and said, I'm sending it back now. Let the hearing officer pursue the case as the board told him to do. Now the case going back to the hearing officer with instruction from the court not to touch the constitutionality of this case. The court already told them, you have no authority to deal with constitutionality. Just do the case as it is. You already dealt with who has authority to file, and Musa Belete has the authority. He's the chief administrative officer. We agree with that. Bam! So they're not dealing with that issue no more. That issue has been resolved. Musa Belete is the chief hearing administrative officer. He had a right to file the document. Now they're going to deal with the case and file the case. But the constitutional issue still persists. What is Nyomlikana going to do now? So we hear what the hearing officer got to say when he ends his case. They got to appeal it to the board again. Because at the final hearing, at the final result, do they want the whole result to be overturned? So if the hearing officer form for Musa Belete, because Musa Belete think they form for him already, Normally Kangas can still appeal that. So they got to go through the final process. He got to hear the case now to the end. The judge has already told them that Musa Belete had the right to file that document. So the hearing officer is not going to deal with that no more. That case is, that aspect is done. They're not going to deal with the constitutionality no more. That case, that aspect is done. So you know, normally going to appeal on the constitutionality issue. She can't appeal on Musa Belete issue no more because the court has rested that. Res judicata. They have resolved that. They said Musa Belete got the authority to file. He's the chief administrative officer. Normally Kanga and Darius Dillon did a white ballot vote and voted him. Now they want to move him. The court said, no, the man is the man. Okay? Let the case go back to the hearing officer. Let the hearing officer decide on the case. When the hearing officer decide, then you can pursue the procedural steps that need to be pursued. Okay? What is the next procedure? Appeal. If you don't like the ruling, you can appeal it. the rate review, I would say review, certiorari. I always had hard time with pronouncing that Latin word, certiorari. The rate of review now is over. That was just a preliminary action. That was not a final action. That was temporary. Now the court has acted on that temporary action. It's gone back to the board. The hearing officer has been given authority by the board to complete the case. So it's gone back to the hearing officer to complete the case. When the hearing officer complete the case on the merits and give a final decision, normally Kanga then can appeal from that decision. Now it's no more a writ to review. It's an appeal. They're going straight. The court will have 7 days to deal with it. Why? Because this is an election matter. It's gone through the election commission. The election commission has rendered a decision. Now that decision is rendered. Anybody appeal that decision to the Supreme Court got 7 days to act on an election matter. And you remember the Supreme Court told us, if the matter don't go through the NEC, it's not an election matter. So this matter is going through the NEC. It's an election matter. It's going to be concluded by the NEC. It's an election matter. They can appeal it to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court has 1 week to act on it. Okay? So this is where the case stands right now. The case has has not been removed from the NEC. Musa Belede may be happy, yes, because there's a possibility that based on the preliminary action of the court, these parties may want to come together. But we see from what happened in Basso recently, nobody they don't want to come together. Darius Dillon, they don't want to come together with Musa Belede. So they're talking about filing, taking legal action. That's appeal. That's the only other legal action they can take. Because everything else, the court finally locking it down, saying you must go through it to appeal now. So they're going to appeal it. Whenever the action come up, are they going to take that constitutional matter up to the Supreme Court so the Supreme Court can deal with it more appropriately? What actions are they going to take up to the Supreme Court? So that's what we're waiting to see. But we know they got one action pending right now. Okay? If they file right now, they will want to know the situation of the case, of the party, the constitutionality of the document. Whatever constitutional issues they have that wasn't resolved on the merits. Because you remember when Justice Youssef sent the case back, he didn't deal with the constitutional issues. There were still constitutional issues there. That was Musa Belede filed a writ of review. Because when Justice Youssef in Kaba did it in Chimas, he didn't deal with the constitutional issue. He just dealt with the merits of the case, with who had to file, who had to do this, and he found in favor of Yomli because he did not use the 2015 constitution. You remember they were fussing about 2 constitutions. One was the 2015 and one was another one. So whichever one he used, the court struck that down and said, no, according to the 2015 constitution, Musa Belede had the right to file the document, the framework document. So anything that has to do with fraud in there, remember now, he had a right to file it. Whether he altered anything in it, whether he tampered with it, that still has to be determined. The court did not close the issue on it. Okay? The court only told the NEC they had no authority to deal with constitutional issue. So that means that constitutional issue may still be there. And they still have the possibility to argue it on appeal. So the case is not over yet. The only thing we know that the court already dealt with was to tell them that Musa Belede is the chief administrative officer of Liberty Party, whether you're like it or not. So you're going to come together now and prove to the court on appeal whether he tampered the Constitution. And if he did tamper the Constitution, will he still have the authority to serve as chairman of the party? Or will Normally Kanga have the authority with the party committee to remove him? So those are all the questions we got to wait and see where this case is going, because this is an interesting case, and we see normally they're already pissed off with the court. They say the court did this and did that, but that was on a writ for review. That wasn't an appeal. Now, when they appeal the case and they want to deal with the constitutional issues, the court did not shoot the constitutional issue down. That was not a part of res judicata. They rested on a case as it was on the merits before the NEC. And they told the NEC, deal with what you got to deal with. Don't touch Constitution. That's not your business. You have no authority to deal with the constitutional matter, any constitutional matter. Your job is to deal with the filing of the documents, who filed, who didn't file, and the court said Musa Belete is the right person to file. Now you'll go back and deal with that and conclude on your case. Let the people appeal. If they want to appeal, then when they bring it up to the board will tell them, okay, we can't deal with constitutional matter, and they will shoot that constitutional issue down too. Because before they can go to the Supreme Court, they got to go to the board. They got to finalize all the process of appeal at the NEC. So when the hearing officer gets through, they may have to file to the board. And when they go to the board cannot deal with constitutional issues. So the board will just confirm the hearing officer's finding on the merits of the case as it is supposed to be before the NEC. But it will not touch the constitutional issue. So they will have to appeal from there to the Supreme Court on the constitutional issue. But as it is right now, we know that Musa Belete is the chief executive officer. The court has already resolved that. So we're not going to that no more. Or they're going to look at what other issues do they have that the court has not already dealt with. All the issues that the court has dealt with come on a res judicata. The court will not touch it again. The only thing the court will look at now is their constitutional issue. Because the court didn't shoot the constitutional issue down. It just told the NEC you have no authority to deal with constitutional issues. Okay? Just deal with the case on the merits, find out whether they're guilty or not, whether they filed right or they didn't file right, or they filed error, or that all they got to deal with. But when it comes to constitutionality, you can't touch it. So let the case go back to your finalize it, let them appeal to the board, let the board strike the constitutional issue down, and they will appeal from there. Then the court got 7 days to deal with the issues of constitutionality. So then the court will open it and deal with it on the merits. But they haven't dealt with it yet. And Yusuf Kaba didn't, and Justice Yusuf Kaba didn't deal with it either. He sent the whole thing back. So it is going to be the 25th. Right now, the court has sort of indicated, because the court already telling you, Musa Belete, that from the 2015 Constitution, he's the chief executive officer. So even if they appeal on the Constitution, what do we do? Because for all indications, the court finished saying that the 2015 Constitution is the Constitution. Because they finished giving Musa Belete chief administrative status from the 2015 Constitution. So what other constitutional issues do Liberty Party Normally Kanga session has to bring or have to bring? What other issues? Because just for the mere fact when the court said Musa Bello is the chief executive officer for the 2015 constitution, that means the court has already acknowledged and resolved the constitutional matter. Because if the constitution said Musa Bello was the chief executive officer and the court didn't agree with it, they wouldn't have said he was the rightful person to file. So I really want to see what is the other legal issue that Liberty Party has to bring forth. Okay? Because in my view, Musa Bello might be right. The case might be resolved. He might be right because the court already acknowledged that the 2015 constitution is the constitution. Because if they didn't acknowledge it, they would not say that under that constitution, Musa Bello is the rightful chief administrator. So just by doing that now, the whole constitutional issue is resolved. It's resolved. So if even they appeal it further to say they want to change things, can they do that? Can they do that? What other issues they got? What other issues they got? Because the court finished recognizing the 2015 constitution. Just for the mere fact they said Musa Bello is the man. So we look forward to seeing what hour is up. I hope I explained this well. We look forward to seeing what further case Liberty Party has. Because the constitutional issue has been resolved. From all indication, the court is saying the 2015 constitution is the constitution. Because if the court recognized Musa Bello under that constitution as the chief executive officer, there can be no other constitutional issues. But we just talk all around to come down to boil it down to that point. They say there can be no other issues. Musa Bello might be right. The case might be resolved. Because even when they appeal it, the court has already determined which constitution is legitimate by virtue of the fact that they say Musa Bello is the chief executive officer and it's acceptable to the court. So what other issues they're going to file about, we want to see it. Please let me know. My hour is done. Attorney Commander J.R. Glapohkpa Chesson class is done. I gotta go. Have a good day, my people. Take heed and govern yourselves accordingly. I hope I answer all your questions, okay, on that issue. So Musa Bello, again, let me re-say that. Musa Bello might be very right. Because if the court says the 2015 constitution is a legitimate constitution, and Musa Bello is the chief administrative officer, the court has already resolved that problem. So we can talk all around, but the court has already said resolve the constitutional matter too. Okay, I rest my case for now, and take heed and govern yourself accordingly. Let me go. I got to do what I got to do. Have a good day, my people. Let me see where I got to go. When you talk so much, you lose control.